Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. How are you? Good to see you. Saturday, just gone 5 o'clock here in the UK. Midday if you're Eastern, 9 a.m. if you're Pacific, 11 a.m. Central. Thanks for being here with us for more of our pre-recorded content. Yes, I'm sure you know the drill by now. This isn't a live show, but it is brand new content for you. So obviously if you're asking questions in the show, chatting to us, we won't be able to comment and answer. However, we normally have one of our social superstars there and other people watching as well, so you can chat along with each other and any questions I'm sure our social superstars will answer for you. We are all about the craft alongs though in these slots. There'll be another one tomorrow, same time, same place. And today we are concentrating on our amazing shaker number dies. Very popular when we launched these just a few weeks back. Always nice to have, isn't it? I think an alphabet set and some number dies within your crafty armory because it allows you to be able to personalize. Lots on the show. I'll tell you about the various bundles and deals that we've got in just a few moments time, and also tell you what's going on today as far as our 12 days of Craftsmas is concerned. But before all of that, let's say hello to the gent at the other side of the studio. He's going to be leading the craft along and taking you through everything that you are going to need over the course of the next hour. It's Santa's little helper himself, the one and only Crafty Elf Craig.
Yes, we're back with Buddy the Elf Top here, where we've just been that cheeky little elf when it comes to this craft along today, which is all about our shakers.
Oh, nice.
So this is our shakers. Now it just so happens I've done number 7. You can be doing any number you so wish, but we're going to create that faux embossed detail on the background, and then we're going to be using some of our ombre glitter card. Now, talk about the ombre glitter card and the shakers. If you want to be making exactly what I'm going to be needing, or what you're going to be needing to make exactly what I'm doing, not a lot today. Not a lot for this one, which is good. You're going to be needing these items here. Now, to do exactly what I'm doing, your shaker number stamp and die set, you're going to be needing the shaker beads. You're going to need your 12 by 12 ombre glitter card, white card, black card. We're going to need an 8 by 8 card blank. We're going to chop it down, and then you're also going to need some acetate as well. So that's the main items, and then the additional elements, you're going to need your G2 machine. We're also going to use the mini. You're going to need a guillotine, scissors, poke tool, tape pen, red liner tape, foam on a roll, and then your tacky glue. So that's the key components there. You know, you might want to change it. For instance, I have put foam on a roll. However, I'm going to use the foam pad strips. I've put tape runner. You might want to use something different. So it's a little bit of kind of the essentials to get you started when it comes to making this, and then you might want to mix it up yourself.
Absolutely right. Hopefully we'll have a few of you crafting along with us in this show. If you've already got this collection, of course, this show will stay wherever you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube. You'll be able to come back to this show and craft along at a later date. If you like the idea of Craig's project and you haven't yet got this collection, then you can pick it up right now on the show. It is the 5-piece collection because you've got all the dies within this set to be able to create, well, all the numbers. And for those beady-eyed viewers that watched this show when we launched it, they were like, hang on a minute. There's no number 9. And I know sometimes it does take a moment. Obviously, your 6 is your 9. So that's all you needed to do. If you're thinking there's no 9 in that set, there is. Just turn it upside down. But you've got all the dies there to be able to create the backings for your number and then the frames to go on top. You know, if you just love the idea of kind of cutting these out and then having you know, that beautiful frame and not using these as shakers, you can. Obviously, once you've added your acetate, you can then add all of your shaker bits in. We've got sequins and beads within the set, which I'll show you in just a second, but also included in this set, you do get dies there to be able to cut out and make your own little shakers. So stars and the circles and the hearts there. You've got your today, your little balloon, and your heart and your star for a little embellishment. And you also get 4 stamps with your ordinals there. So you've got your... It is 34 dies. I never tire of doing that. 34 dies and 4 stamps, giving you your 38 pieces in total. And then to top it all off, as I've mentioned, we're giving you 50 grams of our shaker beads. Dare I open these up? Oh, no. Oh, have a look in there. Oh, look at those shaker beads. They are sensational. They look brilliant, and they, I think, add a really great sound to your shakers as well, these, don't they? They're very
brilliant for the sound, Ben.
So you... There's a few in the lid.
Drop it, drop it, drop it.
So you've got those. We're also going to give you your shaker sequins as well. Look at these. These like they're sort of almost like diamonds, aren't they? Iridescent, the sequins you've got in there. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Don't worry, I've got my desk vacuum on hand. I shall vacuum those up later on. So you've got a big tub of those. That is 50 grams you're going to get of your sequins. Plus, you will also get your shaker glitter, and to help you with your making of the actual shaker itself, your foam on a roll. Although, as Craig was chatting about just the other day, if you want to use your foam strips, you can get those in the small package of your foam pads. But actually, all of that for that price is incredible. £49.57 is your platinum price, $62.24 if you're shopping in the US and you're a platinum member. And just before we move on, it is our 5th day, isn't it, today, of the 12 days of Craftmas. And as part of that celebration, over on the website, you will find, and it will be for today only, a section for £5 stamp and dies. So if you want to take advantage of that, have a look over on the website, but that is for today only, and there will be a new treat tomorrow, day 6 of our 12 days of Christmas. We're doing a different treat each and every single day. All right, we are just about ready to jump into this then. As we say, we'll be crafting along at a normal pace, so hopefully if you are crafting along, you'll be able to keep up and have fun as Craig creates a brilliant project. Where do we need to start?
Right, we're going to bring in our die. So for this one, what we're going to do, Ben, is we're going to use the number 7 die. You might be doing a different one, it's up to yourself, but the 3 dies to work with the 7. We're going to go in with the today die, we're going to go in with the individual star, and then we're going to go in with a cluster of stars, because these are enabling you to also create your own little shakers. These for us today are going to be the accent detail. So let's move these bits out the way for now. Now you're going to take your 8x8 card blank and you're going to chop it down to 5.5 by 7.5. Now the reason that I put 8x8 and get you guys to chop it down, here in the UK, so easy to get a variety of different sized card blanks for you guys stateside.
Yeah.
Not as easy, you're really quite limited within the size. So that's why I always give you bigger, that we can then chop it down ourselves. So I've got my card blank, and as you guys already know, I'm a big fan of the top fold or tent fold card. So I've got it opening at the top. If you want to open normally to the left hand side, up to yourself, but we've got our card blank 5.5 by 7.5. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our glitter ombre card.
So good, that card, isn't it?
It is absolutely gorgeous. Now this was a leftover piece, Ben, hence why it's not 12 by 12. Kind of silly, bringing in a full 12 by 12 when I'm going to chop it down. I'm just as well using what I've already got. So what we're going to do, take your guillotine, and then we're going to chop this down to 5 by 7. So I'm going to go to the 5-inch, and then I'm going to go in here to the 7-inch. So I'm going to do it so I've got the green lilacs and then the blues. So we've got 5 by 7. And then we're going to come in with our black cardstock, and I'm going to give myself not quite a 1/4 inch matten layer, so maybe about 3 or 4 mils bigger than the 5-inch. And then we're going to go to the 7-inch and do like 4 or 5 millimeters just over the 7-inch, so that I give myself a nice little black matten layer.
Excellent,
which
yeah.
will then go onto our card blank, leaving myself a white matten layer. So that's going to be the base. Well, then we're going to come along here. So we've got our white card. So our white card, we're going to go to 4.25 by 6.25. So that's 4.25 inches by 6.25. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come into here. Do you know what we'll get away with, Ben? We'll get away with coming down just an extra 1/4 inch.
Okay.
So let's trim that to 4 by 6. And the reason being, I want to see, you know, a fair amount of the ombre glitter card all the way round. So we're going to take our 4 by 6, and then we're going to take that other bit of black cardstock, and we're going to do the same as before, Ben. So this time we're going to come maybe 4 or 5 millimeters over the 4-inch and 4 or 5 just over the 6-inch. Essentially, Ben, I'm coming just before the 4.25 inches and just before the 6.25.
Yeah.
We're going to pop that over the top, and then we've got our perfect matte layer that we can see here.
Great.
So we're still seeing our ombre glitter, but we've got our base to then start with. And then what we're doing is we're going to set that out the way for now. And then this is where we're going to bring in the Gemini Mini. So we're going to use the remaining of this white cardstock, and I'm going to bring in the 3 7 dies.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do, Ben, is I'm going to take that smallest one, and we're going to cut this maybe, let's say, we're going to cut it about 6 times, so that we've got 6 of the number 7s.
Will all of the frames and numbers go through the Mini?
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
Yes, they all will. So you know that if you are wanting to use the Mini, or you're maybe wanting to use our Gemini Go plates that we've still currently got, and we will use them just shortly, then yes, they're going to go through your smaller machines. No problem at all.
Mini's in stock as well if you want it on the web.
So I'm just positioning that different angles only so that I can maximise the amount of my card. So what I mean by that, turn that around, and then I can come along and slot that in there. So I'm going to get 3 cuts out of this one. And this is why I chose to use the Mini here, is obviously things like this, your Mini or your Midi is quicker.
Yeah.
If you're using your plates, you can of course do the start and the stop, but I do just find it is easier to go in with my Gemini Mini or your Midi and then start to cut. So we're just going to do the same. We're just going to give ourselves, you know, the best amount of card that we can be using. Now what you could be doing is you could put your cardstock onto your double-sided adhesive sheets, and then that'll make them into stickers, because we're going to create our own little random background. Or you've got your sprays if you choose to use your permanent adhesive spray, or as we're going to do is we're just going to use our tacky glue, or you can use your tape runner. It's up to you. But we're just going to then pop that one in. We might not need all 6, but it's better to have a few too many than not enough.
Yeah,
not that's a big deal to come along and
No.
cut an extra one. So we're going to go for these ones just now, and then what we'll do is we're going to pop that to the side. We'll do all the other die cuts just shortly. So we're going to take our white cardstock. So this is of course what we cut 4 by 6 inches. Now the centre is going to be covered with that number 7, but you know what we're going to do at the moment, Ben, is we're just going to have a little bit of a play, and we're going to randomly just position these to the side, and it's better to do it this way. And then what you can do is just play about, maneuver them about into position here, and it's easy, in my opinion, it's easier to still do it this way, other than what you're doing, keeping in mind that this is going to be 7, the 7 shaker. Sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult, Ben, just to try and
make the space for
positioning and make the space for it. Plus, you're a little bit more regimental. So therefore, just come along and then just play.
Yeah.
Play with all of these little bits. Get them where you want. They're going to be hanging over the edge, which is absolutely fine. That's what we want, because we're going to come along and then we're going to chop them all off once we get where we want them. So if we come into there.
Is this something you started doing more recently? Because I don't really recall you doing it back along, but I see you kind of do it quite a lot now, and it's really effective.
It's really effective.
I was just wondering if it's something that you've sort of added into your repertoire recently.
Do you know something? I've done it for years, periodically, and then really the last few months I've done it a long time with my stamps that you guys see me do, and then periodically I've been coming along and doing them with my background dies, and maybe my stamps as well, a lot more than usual. I just think because it's so effective.
Yeah, it is.
It gives you, essentially what we're doing is we're creating our own embossed background without an embossing folder.
It's like when you create your own backgrounds. I know we were chatting about it the other day, but with sometimes you cut strips of card and create backgrounds that way, or you use the washi tape to create backgrounds that way. There's some really interesting ways to create your own background papers, aren't there?
There is. There really, really is. And then it ties in to the style, ties into the colour, depending on what colour that you're using. I mean, this could be black on black, red on red. Works really well, of course, tone on tone. Or that's your white smooth, Ben. This could be your white Centura pearl with a hint of silver. You can do it that way. Or, of course, you can just use a completely different colour. But it is really effective to do your white on white or black on black or, you know, tone on tone. So we're just going in. I'm using my tacky glue. Don't worry about putting too much glue over the edge because we're going to snip them off. But we can see here, what I can then do is let's take my scissors. So I'm just going to press that for a second. Let's just fully let that do its thing and dry before. If I come and snip this off, some of these little bits will start to kind of move and wobble about. So let's take our next piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to use the Today die, and we're going to then take our folder again, and then we're going to just run this through. So we're going to cut this within our black cardstock and also our white cardstock.
Okay.
We're not using the ordinal stamps within this one, but the great thing with the craft along, Ben, which is I love to see sometimes you do exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you change it. Sometimes you come along and then you manipulate it, you know, a little bit differently. Sometimes you go to absolute town on changing it and doing it your style. And that's what's always good to see about the craft along.
Yeah.
It's always nice. I mean, you might not have the ombre card, so you use something else. And that's the great thing. We don't expect everyone. I know a lot of you at home do have most of what we produce at Crafters Companion, but not everyone does. So sometimes you have to substitute something. Then, of course, you can do that.
I think that's why it's so great, though, isn't it? You know, if you do want to copy step by step and have all of the bits and pieces, you can pick those up and do exactly as Craig does, or as though, like you said, you know, you can mix and match things around as well.
Definitely.
What I've loved about your craft alongs as well, and I think, you know, generally with the guys too, the recent ones that we've done, I think, have been very achievable for all levels. And I think that's really nice as well, because again, if you're a beginner, you can follow these steps very easily. But you know, if you are a bit more experienced, people might decide to just slightly change things or add something onto the craft along that you've done.
Absolutely, and I hold my hand up and I openly admit I don't do all big singing and dancing craft alongs. Debbie does, both Debbies do incredible, but Debbie Robinson will do beautiful light up boxes, you know, Debbie will do your fun concepts. I'm very much back straight to the beginning, square card, rectangle cards, along your flatter lines, and that's just because I'm not, when it comes to my cards, as many know, I'm not in all singing and dancing. And sometimes I do think, well, maybe I've done a demo on air and I'm like, it's a little bit too plain. But then the reaction I get from at home from you guys on social being, you love seeing that stripped back version. You love the simplicity that you can then come along and then elaborate should you wish. And that's what's lovely to see. So why change my own style when you guys love it? So what I'm going to do here is if I just pop these bits out. So I've taken that large star and I've cut that twice.
Yeah.
And then I've taken that cluster of stars and I've also cut that one twice. And as you can see, I just used my mini. So not needing any metal shim or anything like that. This cuts an absolute dream that we can see here. And then what we're going to do, Ben, at this moment in time for me is nothing. Yeah. I'm just going to sit that all there. I'm going to get myself tidied up. Anyone that needs a little bit of time just to catch up, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. As I say, I'll do nothing other than tidy. And then when we come back, we can start to assemble the background and then start to cut and build our shaker.
Yep, and if you do want to pick up this collection, if already you're thinking to yourself, I'd really like to make this project, you will need the shaker number collection, and here it is. So you get all of the dies, you get the stamps, and of course the selection of bits to be shaking as well, from the beads to the sequins to the glitter. It's all included alongside all of your numbers and all of those ordinals as well. So £49.57, £62.24. If you shop the show as well, you will find a selection of different cardstock and papers available for you as well. So if you do need to add in anything, as you say, if you've already got, you know, the ombre glitter card and the cards and the papers that Craig is using, brilliant. But if you do want to kind of change things up and use different things, of course, you can do that too. We shall take a short break then, give you opportunity to get your carts and your baskets checked out, and we will meet you back here in about 4 minutes time.
Come in, check my emails, then lay the shows out in the studio, set pack shots up. Then I will get new polls, pick shows, solve any problems that need solving. We deal with other teams where we receive marketing suites, we receive boards. We pick samples to send to Hobby Maker. We pick samples to send to QVC. We will take the previous shows out of the studios, set the new shows up, do manage occasionally, not all the time, making sure that the craft expert presenters have everything at hand that they need. Anything that they haven't got during shows, we will run about and get the products for them. Think on a morning when it's really quiet, I can get more done when there's nobody else in the building. Night owl. Morning. Coffee on a morning, tea the rest of the day. Savoury. Normally lunchtime. Craft along. Mobile phone. Christina's chicken wrap. Barry White. You're my first, my last, my everything. Go home and make the tea.
My daily life is pretty busy in work. Literally, I get in the door, I check my polls, I then check what I've got to demo, I then get everything ready, and it's just busy, busy, busy. I have a meeting with the producer, the director, we get then sorted shows, talk to the presenter, and it depends what side I'm on. I mean, sometimes I'm doing the presenting, sometimes I'm doing the demonstration side, and I love both. It's actually who I get to work with. Yeah, I can't say no more than that other than anybody that works here. We are a big family. We're super friendly. I love Ben. I love it when we work together. And I don't mean that I don't love anyone else. It's the fact that Ben is the presenter and then I'm straight in, and we just have this great rapport. Same with Craig, same with Deb, same with the whole team. So yeah, the best part of the day is just getting to work with the best people in the industry. Oh, a night out. In the morning. Oh, done. I only drink water. Oh, well, it's out sugar, so it's got to be savoury. Masterclass. Oh, I can't leave the house without my lipstick. I love a baked potato. I relax, so I literally drive home normally and then I relax.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being with us. If you have just joined us, this, of course, is a pre-recorded show. So if you are commenting along and going, "Oh, Ben's been a bit rude. He's not saying hello to anyone." Obviously, we're here, but we're not here. But feel free to chat along with everybody else in the comments, and one of our social superstars is there. If you have any questions, I'm sure they will answer them for you. But we're concentrating on the shaker numbers. 5-piece collection. Craig is popping together a magnificent project, and during that short break he has done nothing, so don't worry if you're thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be behind now, I'm going to need to catch up." He's been doing absolutely nothing, but he's ready to go again now, aren't you?
I did do a little bit of tidying up.
He tidied up, yeah.
I did
So
tidy
you didn't do
up.
anything else with the project?
Did tidy up. I do like to be organised. Many of you know that either I finish my project and then I tidy up completely, or midway through I'll do my project, tidy, and then carry on. It's what I'm always like at home. Right, let's take our background that we've started to create here, and then you can use your guillotine if you want, your V-blade trimmer, you can use your craft knife if you want. as you can see, I'm just using my scissors. I'm using that leading edge of that card panel just to snip them off like so, working our way around into position. So we've got our faux embossed background. What we can then do, Ben, is we can then just have a little look, any additional little bits that you maybe feel are a little bit empty, you can take your offcuts and then we can then add them on here. Make it, you know, as reasonably full as you can, because it does look really smart. I'm not worrying about the centre, of course, because most of that's going to be covered up anyway, as I explained at the start, but it is easier just to come along and fill the whole backdrop yourself than it is to actually try and just do little sections. So if we come along, press that one in, and then just going to do the same down into here, just pop that one on. And then I'm not going to snip it off just yet, but what we can do is just take that there, and then we'll just leave that little bit to then set. So we're going to move that out the way. What we're then going to do is let's go in with that bit of your ombre glitter card again. And then we're going to take the actual outer main die. So we're going to take this largest die here. I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller, and then we're going to come along with our Gemini mini plate, or our folder, and then we're going to run that one through.
The cardstock, by the way, if you want that ombre glitter, it is on the show, 60% off the ombre glitter cardstock. So if you do want to add that into your basket as well, so you can do exactly what Craig is doing, then grab it. I think it's one of the most beautiful glitter cards we've ever done, isn't it, Craig?
Completely agree. It really, really is. I absolutely loved it.
$5.99 today.
I know, isn't it great? And it is the 12 by 12 one as well. It's not, you would expect maybe 6 by 6, not the 12 by 12. So we've got our backdrop of our silver. What we're then going to do is if we then take away the smallest one here. So what we're going to have is we're going to have that middle one there, and then we're going to then pop in that little 7, so that smaller 7, and we're going to take our white card. We're going to pop that together with our low-tack tape. So if we then position that where we need it. So we're going to get that central into there and then into there. We're just going to take our folder. We're just going to trim some of that excess off so it fits through the folder. So snip that one off and then run it through. So start to run that one through. That's then going to also give us that aperture that's going to give us a bit of a frame as well. So we've got now our 7, and then, of course, we've got our smaller 7. So then what I'm going to do is let's take that again. So we're going to keep that number 7, and we're going to take this large outer 7 here. And this is the great thing with the shakers, when there's so many different permutations when it comes to what ones you can use and the different looks and that you get. So again, let's go in here, and then we're going to then take that one. So taking our low-tack tape, you can do all of these layers individually if you want to. It's entirely up to yourself, but I'm going to go in. As long as they are secured nicely and well, they're going to be absolutely fine. So snip that off, and we're just doing a little snip in there just to make sure that it fits the folder. That's all that we're doing. When I'm doing little sections, just snipping it off, it's because we are just wanting it to fit within the folder. So we can now take that one away. So we've now got our thicker frame, which is then going to go over the top. And then last, but by no means least, what we're going to do is that that medium one. Sorry, that's the large one. We're going to use the medium one, and this time we're going to do this within black card. So just grabbing another bit of the black cardstock. And this is going to create a really nice, small, but delicate outer frame. So taking that one, and then that one, stick that together, and then we're going to run that through as well, Ben.
Like you said, it's interesting to chat about the permutations. There was a board somewhere, I haven't got it on the show, but it shows you that obviously you can create the different sized background 7s, if you like,
Yeah.
and then the different permutations allow you to create the different size frames as well, don't they?
That's it.
Yeah.
And we're doing it so that our number is a separate number,
Yeah.
but you could do it so your shaker is flush on the background of your card. So let's open that one up here. And now we've got our thinner black frame, which is
Ooh,
then
yeah.
going to sit over the top, which is really cool. And then last but by no means least, Ben, we're going to then take the largest 7 die again. So we're going to take that largest one. We're going to go in with our acetate.
Yeah.
So we don't need much. And because this is covering for your shaker, this could be your thin acetate, Ben. This could be your heat resistant acetate. Doesn't have to be a thick acetate. And then because the numbers are quite simple, what you can do if you want to, there's 2 ways, Ben. You can either stick your tape on the back, stick it on, and then fussy cut around.
it,
Because
yeah.
as you can see, it's really, really simple to cut around. But say you don't like that, you've got dexterity issues, something like that. What we're going to do is we're going to take the largest 7 die, and then we're going to go in with our Gemini plate. So I'm still going to use my Go plates.
So will the mini not great at cutting acetate?
Not with acetate,
No.
no. Acetate, you really need like metal on metal.
Yeah.
So you're needing a metal shim. No problem with your glitter card.
No.
But any material wise, such as your acetate, you need to be cutting metal into metal.
Yeah.
But as you can see, you can use your A4 plates, your A5 plates, or if you have got your Go plates, you've still got a metal shim that comes with the Go plates. I know that's still currently, as it stands, on the website, so you can check that one out. So you can either fussy cut all the way round, or you can then take your metal plate and your folder and then just cut that one out. That cuts it out absolutely beautifully, perfectly and neatly. Take our low tack tape off. It's always hard to see acetate, but you can
There we
see
go.
that
Yeah.
within the shape of the number 7. So let's move all of these bits because that is all of our die cutting done.
Brilliant.
So I'm going to come along here and then I'm going to take, Ben, the 7 that we've done in the white, and then we can come along with whatever form of tape that you want. I'm going to use my red liner tape. Now, Ben, this could be any adhesive. This could be your tape runner. Doesn't have to be red liner tape at this point because any adhesive, tape runner, red liner tape, tissue tape, anything like that, it sticks so strongly to acetate. So you don't need to worry what it is. It can be your wet adhesive, it could be your tacky glue, but you will need to let that dry considerably bit longer because your acetate is a non-porous surface.
Yeah.
Therefore, it just needs time to dry. And also what I'm doing at the moment, Ben, with my red liner tape, notice how I'm not worried about any joins. You don't need to worry about that at the moment. You just need to make sure you've got a nice coverage.
What width is that, did you say, the red liner tape?
So that one that I'm using here is a 3mm.
3mm, right.
You can use your 6mm.
Okay.
That'll be absolutely fine. That will work. Or as I said previously, put your double-sided adhesive sheets on the back and then you can then just cut it and then it's going to create a sticker.
Yep.
So I've already shown you how you can then die cut the 7. Now I prefer, Ben, to stick it on to my acetate. And the reason being, sometimes it can be a little bit harder to get your acetate bang on without getting an overlay, which you then need to come along and trim off. So I find for myself, it's a lot easier and sometimes it's a lot quicker just to stick on your acetate. And then all you're doing, you're carefully going around the edge so that we're not cutting into our white card, trimming all the way around. We're left with a really, really nice, neat edge. You're not having to fight with the acetate, trying to get it in that perfect position without having an overlay or an overhang, but we're just working our way around, cutting that off. We're then going to have that barrier over the top, which is going to stop any of your shaker elements from falling out. And then there we go. Really, really easy. Having, of course, that number 7.
Yeah.
Then we've got that acetate to the back there. What we're going to do at this point, let's take the actual black outline and let's stick that one on. So if I go round with my tacky glue now, what looks cool as well, Ben, is when it comes to the shaker, I'm going to lift that with my foam strips.
Yeah.
Now your really thin, small foam strips would just fit on here. So that would look quite smart if you also lifted that. What you could also do, put acetate to the back of that one, lift it up on foam pads and do a double shaker.
Oh, that's a
Maybe
really
do
cool idea.
glitter on the bottom, sequins at the top, something like that.
Okay.
And then all we're going to do is we're going to then overlay. So you'll see me just overlaying that into place. I'm going to take my glue, we're going to wiggle and move that into place. So we're just going to then pull and position. So holding that in so I don't see any white outline on that outer edge. If you've got any little bits of glue that seep out, then as we all know by now, and if you don't, our tacky glue dries clear. And then I'm going to set that to grab at the moment. And then, excuse me, let's take our 2 today die cuts.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring in the white one. And then we're going to pop my glue to the back. I think it's really worthwhile with this die cut, because it's nice and delicate, it's really worthwhile doing a drop shadow. If you're going to use your dotty tape runner, please be careful, because this sort of die is perfect for your dotty tape runner, but it's so light and delicate.
So easy to tear.
It's easy to tear, it is. So you're just going to hold down with your finger as you're travelling along with your dotty tape runner. With your tacky glue, what we can then do is then we can then just move that into position here. So we're just going to move. So then we've got that black drop shadow. And then what we're going to do, Ben, just before we take a little break here, let anyone catch up, we're going to take the background that we've done, and then once again what we're going to do is we're just going to do what we've done before, trim the excess. That will be our backdrop all done. And then once we come back, it's the case of building the shaker and finishing the card. But there is our background, there is our 7, that will be the background. That will then all lift, as we can see there. Obviously it'll be neater once we've stuck it together, but visually, just so you can see where we're going with it, that will go on there, and then we'll start to finish off.
Brilliant. So it's all the sort of construction elements coming up in the final 15 minutes or so of the show. Remember, you can pick up pretty much everything that Craig is using in the show. As we said, the mini's still available for you on the website. That ombre glitter card is on the show as well at an unbelievable price. That $5.99 price, 60% off the 24 sheet pad. I would be multi-ordering that if I were you. And of course, you can pick up the shaker number collection as well. That 5-piece collection, which brings you all of the dies. You've got the stamps in there as well, so 34 dies, 4 stamps, and then you've got your foam on a roll, you've got your glitter, you've got your sequin beads, and you've got those beautiful sequins included in there as well. That price, $49.57, platinum, $62.24 if you're shopping in the US and you're a platinum member. And don't forget, if you are fairly new to us and you haven't yet shopped, you can sign up to Club Inspire, look for that logo on the website. Simply sign up with your email address, your name, you create a password, you're in, you'll get 20% off your first order. It's free to do as well. And then once you're in the club, you are basically, for every pound or dollar you spend, you're getting a point. More points you get, the more money you save. Have a look, it's all there at our website. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will finish off the project with Craig. But for the meantime, go and get your carts checked out. We'll see you in a moment.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come into work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed. Best part of my day is when we come in and I get to see everybody. I really enjoy being up here. It's really nice to see all my friends, and this is my happy place. I do like to see everyone, and also, of course, if Christina's in, getting my breakfast from Christina before I start the day. Early, without a doubt, never a night owl. I'm in bed at 9:30. Night shower, I'm very clean. Tea, the colour of He-Man. Both, I like pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. Craft along, because there's always a softer side craft along. My phone, my phone, yeah, and the dog, unless I'm coming up here and I can't bring the dog in. My favourite lunch isn't lunch. My favourite lunch is afternoon tea. That's what I'd like. Lots of selection of sandwiches, some scones, or scones, some cream and jam, and some little cakes. But I can't every day because I'd be the house. Oh, that changes to the moment. My favourite song moment is Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Or make myself a cup of tea and go and have a bath.
Day looks like on a normal day when I'm working from home. Get up, breakfast, quick phone call with my daughter, and then I'm up in the craft room and I spend all my time in the craft room. If it's spending a day with the kids, that's it. That's my best part of the day, just spending time with family, those gorgeous little grandkids of mine. The best part of the day when I'm at work is when I go on air, because I absolutely love it. Both. I prefer a shower in the morning. I feel fresher. I feel that I can tackle my day. However, depending on how that day's been, I also would have a double shower, so I'd have one in the morning and one at night too. Absolutely, 100% coffee. Will always be coffee. And flavoured coffee is my favourite at the moment. Dare I say it's a full English breakfast. The full works, the beans, the tomatoes, the bacon, the sausage, and everything that goes with a traditional English breakfast. Craft along. Every day of the week. I absolutely love going through the stages from the start of a project to the end of a project. So craft along is definitely my favourite choice. I can't leave without my lipstick. It's a given thing. I once didn't have a lipstick on me and Leanne helped me out that day. Kick off the shoes, sit down for a couple of minutes, just gather my thoughts and then grab my tea.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're well. If you've just joined us, hope your Saturday's going well. Hope the weekend is fine. We are here with more of your pre-recorded content, another fantastic craft along for you. We've been doing these over the course of the last few weeks. If you haven't yet clocked, we are doing them each and every Saturday and Sunday at this time. So 5 o'clock UK, midday for our Eastern viewers, and 9 a.m. if you're Pacific, 11 a.m. Central. Another one for you tomorrow. So make sure you are here for that. Tomorrow's craft along is it a touch of sparkle tomorrow? No, shimmer sprays.
Shimmer sprays.
Shimmer sprays tomorrow is what we're going to be looking
right.
at. Right, this one has been with the shaker numbers though. If you have joined us late, you can of course watch this back after, but you've kind of done all of the construction side of things now, so we're just going to put the card together.
We are indeed. So let's bring in that 7 here. Now, if you want to use that foam on a roll, you can absolutely do that. We are going to take the foam pad strips. These come from our small foam pad bundle. And you've got 2 different widths here. So because we've got a thicker width, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the thicker width foam pad.
Yeah.
Now you can twist and manipulate foam pad strips. I prefer not to. What I like to do is I like to just come along and join them together. And they don't have to be neat in the join, but what you do need to make sure is that you've got no gap when you do join them, because you don't want your shakers to fall out.
No.
So we're going to go into the next one here, and then we're just going to then go in, making sure, as I said, we're just going to join them right to that edge, and then just chop. And you're going to find your way of doing it, an easy way, whether it's this way or whether it's just twisting the foam all the way round. And then we're going to go in here. Also, what you might find, some people, Ben, at this point, once they've gone around with the foam or foam on a roll, they'll cut another 7 within the acetate. So they'll do that twice. And then what they'll do is, if we just come to that end there, what they'll do is they'll put the shaker in there, then pop the acetate over the top, so it's like a little window. So you've got that option. I don't. I prefer to put my shaker onto the background and then stick this on. So it's entirely up to yourself, your own preference. And then we're going to take the backing off. So take it off to start with, so it's all ready to go. There's nothing worse than putting your shakers in and then you're having to faff about trying to take the backs off. So if we take them off here, and then I'm just going to then just kind of make sure that's completely flat, because if it's got a little kind of little dip in it, what will happen is your shaker beads anyway will just start to roll away. So at first you are going to, with the shaker beads, you are going to make a bit of a mess to start with, and that's just because there's no easy way to tip them onto your number 7. So we're just going to then pop them on. So you're just going to start to get a nice load of the beads here. And then what we're doing is we're going to push them into the centre of the 7, and we're making sure that we've got a nice clean edge all the way round, because you don't want anything to block the foam.
Yes, because that's when bits will fall out, isn't it?
That's it. That's when they're all going to fall out. So just come along, and there's nothing stopping you doing some beads, doing some glitter if you want to. The die set does have a couple of little dies that creates their own little sequence or their own little shaker with your cardstock. So you might want to use the ombre glitter card and create your own little shaker sequence. You can do that.
Do you tend to have just one type of shaker component in a shaker, or do you add lots of different bits?
No, I'm very much just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah, tend to just go in with the one. So it might be sequins, it might be beads, it might be glitter, whatever it is, I tend to just go in with the one, as you say there, Ben. And then what we're going to do here is, once I'm happy that I've got all of my beads in the centre, as close to the centre, I'm just going to then bring in my number 7 that's raised on the foam pads, and then we're just going to then position that into place like so. And then before you lift it, make sure that you've got a really, really nice connection. So we're just going to press that in like so. You could add more, you could add less, but we've now got, how cool is that?
Really good. Sounds so
Sound
good.
that you like. You like that sound, don't you? So let's go along now, Ben, and then let's start to finish this card here. So I'm going to use my tape runners. So I'll work edge to edge with our tape runner, and I'm just going to make sure we've got a nice join in the middle. So let's take our black card.
Why did you choose 7, interestingly? Is that a lucky number, or is it just...
No, I just picked 7. Just pick 7, yeah. I'm not sure if it's because I've seen a finished example and the 7 just stuck to me. Might be that, but yeah, I've just gone in with the 7.
Lucky 7.
Lucky 7. But yeah, could be any number. You could do double numbers if you want to. And that's the thing with the numbers, the shaker numbers. They're great for any age, of course, any sex, of course. And then what you've got as well is you've got just great big numbers that you don't have to use as shakers.
No.
You might just want to use them as cake toppers. That would be good. You
Bin
could do
numbers.
That. Bin numbers is a good one.
Always put numbers on your bins, because like, you don't want to get involved in bin wars, do you, in your neighbourhood?
You definitely don't. No, you don't want people putting their own recycling or their waste in your one. No, definitely not. None of that. And also, because these are quite simplistic shapes, what about going in, as I showed you earlier on, Ben, with your metal shim, so your soft crafts, you can cut your fabrics out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you can do your, I don't know, is it your applique, your stitch work, things like that. So it's so many ways that you can then use, you know, I'm quite a good sewist now.
Oh, no, I've seen some of your sewing projects.
I've been doing a little bit of dabbling lately.
Yeah, yeah.
Not.
I tell you what, though, it's a great idea, though. Like you say, using them as a applique.
Yeah.
Or, you know, ironing them onto, like, T-shirts and stuff. I don't know, if it's someone's birthday and you're going out to people's, like a birthday event, you could have the age on the T-shirt, or for football shirts.
Exactly.
Potentially.
Yeah, you can be doing that for football shirts.
What are you doing here, by the way?
So with your circle foam pads, that is still foam. So don't waste it. No one's going to be seeing that.
No.
So just use that up. Otherwise, you're just going to bin the whole lot. It's total waste.
Yeah.
So make sure you use it.
You can't see that, can you?
No, you definitely cannot see it. It's the John Cena of foam pads. So let's take that off. And it doesn't matter if it's being cut into, if it's not straight, it's at an angle, it doesn't matter. The fact is, still a foam pad.
Yeah.
What I would do though, Ben, is because we're going on to shedless glitter, I'm just going to put a little dot of the tacky glue.
That's a good thing to do anyway, isn't it? I hear a lot of you guys say if you can add a bit of wet glue to your foam pads, gives you more longevity.
Exactly, yeah. I tend to do that anyway for that longevity because, yes, your dry adhesive will dry to the base, but what happens, your tacky glue, it dries into the foam pad, but then it also dries into your cardstock.
Yeah.
So you just know that you're going to get that incredibly strong bond. You know, your dry tape is going to be strong anyway, but just for that longevity, going in with, like for instance, this one here, don't need to necessarily put my tacky glue, but just because it's longevity, because it's a little bit of weight to it, does no harm by going into the centre with your tacky glue. And then what we can do is let's bring in the today. And I only need to put the glue kind of within the middle because the edges are going to overhang over the edge. And then we're going to pop that there, press that in. And then all we need to do is bring in all of these cluster of dies. I'm going to bring in my wax pickup tool. And I'm going to then, let's start in this corner. So I'm going to do the largest star first. And then let's just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. And then let's just start to pick these up with your wax tool. And it goes to show that your wax tool's not just for your gems or your pearls.
Absolutely.
It's a good way just to pick up anything.
Great example again, though, you're just showing here that, you know, you might look at that die and go, well, that's all just shaker elements. But no, you're using these now as embellishments for the actual main part of the card.
Exactly. That's it. Keep using it elsewhere. Doesn't just have to be, as you said, shakers. So we're just going to go pop our clusters into here. Let's put maybe one there and there. Let's go in, lift, pop, and then maybe just one there. Pick that up. Let's press that down. And then Ben, there we go.
Quality that.
Happy with that. Press that in, make sure it's nice and sturdy. And then we've got our 5.5 by 7.5 top fold, 10 fold shaker card with the 7. And then we've used the 7 as an embossed background, used the cluster of dies, of course, star dies. And then that was with the black card, the white card, the acetate, and also the ombre glitter card.
Fan-blimmin-tastic that, isn't it? Let us know by way of tagging us if you do decide to recreate this project. We always love it when we turn on our Facebook pages and see that you guys have tagged us in various projects, and particularly nice for our experts who lead the craft along. So if you do decide to do this, make sure you tag us at Ben Moseby CC, at Craig Laird CC, and if you fancy, you can always send in the projects that you make via email, the pictures of them, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and your pictures might feature in a gallery on a show, or indeed we might feature them on Friday Night Live with the Friday Night Fave section, and if they feature there, of course, you have got the opportunity to win yourself some bonus points towards your Club Inspire account. But if you don't yet have them and you love the idea of this project, then you can pick up the Shaker number 5-piece collection. It's much more than 5 pieces, but it's 5 elements, if you like, because within the dies themselves, you're getting 34 dies, 4 stamps. So you've got all the different frame dies within each number, as Craig, brilliantly showed you there, which means you can create different sized frames, different sized toppers with these as well, and you get all of the numbers in there. Again, I'll just mention it because it was picked up on a couple of times. The 6 is the 9, the 9 is the 6. You've also got your today die in there as well, so that one is included in case you were wondering where did Craig get that from. You get it within the set. And then you've got the larger balloon, heart and star dies, and then these little ones down here, as Craig has described, you can use them to decorate and embellish your project, but those are also great if you just want to cut those out and pop them inside your shaker. If you don't want to use sequins or glitter, you've got the option of popping those in, and those are in the shape of your stars. You've got your circles and your hearts in there too. So 34 dies in total, and then you also get the ordinals in stamp form. So if you are doing birthday cards or anniversary cards, you've got the as well, so you can have your first birthday or second birthday or third birthday or fourth birthday. So that's really handy. Alongside that, you've got all the other added extras. So all of the kind of shaker elements, if you like. So if you want to be able to add glitter into your project, that is a beautiful tub of your shaker glitter. Like iridescent glitter gives you all of the different colours, as you can see. Just I twist that around there. I'm seeing like pinks and blues and purples and greens running through there as the light catches that. So you've got 50 mils within that tub. And once again, great for a shaker, but absolutely great just to add onto other projects as well. And if you've got some of our ballpoint glue pens, you can lay some of that down and lay some glitter over the top just to add sparkle to things like the Majestic Unicorn collection, Fairy Glade, fairy tale collections. That sort of glitter I think is going to work really, really nicely. The beads that Craig used are also within the bundle. These, I know it's a funny thing to keep going on about, but if you're looking for a shaker that sounds great, these are the ones to go for. 50 grams you're going to get, and of course, if I just quickly open that one up, can I? Oh, it's fine, don't worry. Those gone everywhere. Craig did say be careful when you open them up. You have got those beautiful beads in there to add to your project. So you get 50 grams of those. And then a big tub, 50 grams of your shaker sequins. I'll just twirl these. I won't open these up. I've already made a bit of a mess. So again, all of those fantastic sequins in there. Again, depending on how the light catches them, you're going to get blues and purples and greens, yellows in there too. Lovely size sequins, 50 grams. And of course, Craig has showed you that you can use your foam strips to be able to create your shakers, but if you want to go for the traditional way to do it, if you like, foam on a roll, this is the 5mm by 2mm, and you also get 2 meters of foam on a roll included there as well. I think that's a brilliant bundle and really nicely priced as well. So you're looking at £61.96 or £77.80. If you're a platinum member, that is £49.57 or £62.24. Also worth bearing in mind, if you check the shop the show, you'll be able to pick up, there's a selection of 12 by 12 paper and card on there. Most notably, the ombre glitter card that Craig was using, that is there, as we showed you in the show, at a brilliant price with 60% off. So you might want to pop that into your basket as well, so then you can recreate that project exactly as Craig has done it. Thank you so much, Craig. Really enjoyed that. And we are back tomorrow with more pre-recorded content. It's going to be the shimmer sprays, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. We're going to have a little bit of a play. We're going to have specific colours that we will let you know, but in the actual craft along, we'll play with the shimmers and we'll see what colours we can come up with.
Massive thank you to Craig. Brilliant project. Hopefully you guys will be recreating that. If you do, as I say, tag us in your makes or send us your pictures. But thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And for now, from me and he,
toodles.